So in this video, we're going to talk about buying tax lien properties in Alabama. There's a lot going on here. First of all, Alabama is a phenomenal state to buy tax lien certificates, okay? So let's back up a little bit. Let's talk about what are tax lien certificates. So everybody's clear. Okay, there seems to be a lot of mud around this a little bit. Everybody gets these objections. Oh, we're going to get the property. No. Slow down. So a tax lien certificate on a property means the property owner has failed to pay the property taxes for a minimum of 1 year. So what that means is once a property owner is 1 year delinquent on their property taxes, individual counties within that state are allowed to go ahead and raise the capital for that, which is mean bring it to a tax lien sale. Now, let me cover something right now. When I go to a sale in Alabama and I put my hand up and they say sold, we'll get to that in just a minute, I am not buying someone's house, a property. Let me repeat that. I'm not buying their house. All I'm doing is I'm dealing with the county. In fact, I'm never dealing with the property owner. I'm dealing with the county all the way through this process. They're mostly your workhorse. So what I'm doing is the county is saying enough's enough. They haven't been paying their property taxes. We need to run our county. We need things like roads, bridges, fire department, and most importantly, your school system. So once that happens, and I put my hand up and go like that, I go, okay, now I've got this property. Now in Alabama, it starts off at 12% and it goes down at 1% per annum on this. And it's a 3-year minimum redemption period. What does that mean? Okay, so like for instance, in Arizona, it's 3 years, 2 years in Florida. What that means is when I buy that lien, tick-tock. Okay, so the clock starts ticking on that redemption period, meaning the property owner has 3 years to come in and pay the county 12% plus whatever that is, and then the county will pay you back your money plus whatever that interest rate. These sales are going on all year round in the state of Alabama. So that's what a tax lien certificate is. You just don't go in and buy a tax lien certificate on any old property, because what if the property is not worth redeeming? I mean, I've seen that before where there's properties that are so dilapidated. They're like, yeah, good luck. Nobody wants this. It's in the wrong end of town. Maybe it's 25 feet wide and 200 yards long. I mean, that's just a dog run. Maybe it's a island somewhere on a street, a medium in a street. There's going to be all sorts of ones. So you want to make sure you do your research on that. The Alabama Revenue Department will generate quotes for you and accept your offer. So once you put that bid in there, they've got 10 days to accept it, and you got to pay that quote. Again, there's a 3-year redemption in the state of Alabama on this. Alabama's got a lot of unique things going on this. Their sales are online, they're in location. Auction dates start in May, so they're coming up right about now, or they're coming up. They're on an annual basis. There's a lot of counties in the state of Alabama. Some of the things that you need to be careful of in Alabama is you need to make sure that you're getting a property that you want. And I'm going to say this goes with any property out there throughout the United States, whether it is in Alabama or in New York, California, Colorado, or what have you. When I'm getting these properties, I want to make sure this is something I want should they not redeem. If somebody comes in there and redeems on this or doesn't redeem on this and I foreclose, I better want that property. So you want to make sure that these are the properties that you want. It's very, very important. The other thing that we're looking at when you're doing the research on these properties, again, like I just said, you want to do research not because I'm just getting 10%, it's because I want this property. Not because I'm going to get it, it's just because if it does go to that foreclosure process. Now, this is also important. In order to do a foreclosure in Alabama, you're going to have to send out the same things as other states, NODs and what have you. Do not do this on your own. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you hire an attorney that goes through this whole process and helps you with it, like any place else. That's not my job. I'm not going to do it. I've never learned how to do it, nor do I want to learn how to do it. I want to have an attorney set this up and make that happen, okay? So those are some of the things you want to look at in the state of Alabama. Now, as these sales are posted, you're going to look at this. The sale is going to happen in a particular time. Let's say it's at the end of May. That means the list of the properties that are coming up for sale have to be posted within 4 weeks prior to the sale. That will give everybody notification that the sale is coming up. you can go out there and do your due diligence on it and make it happen from there. I don't know what it is about Alabama, but there seems to be a lot of liens on their list. And they also have a lot of struck properties or liens where nobody's purchased the lien on the property. You can go in there and buy it and foreclose immediately. Okay, so I'm just kind of giving you a little tidbit on that. Okay, Alabama is not a bad place to be. Now, unfortunately or fortunately, there's some other people that are giving kind of goofy information on Alabama, and it's not as great as it used to be. So, be careful when you're going down to the county to make this thing happen, and you follow all of the rules of foreclosure on that whole process. Make sure that everything is going with that property that has been notified. In other words, if there's a mortgage on the property, if there's anything else, they've all been notified of this when you go into your foreclosure to make sure that you're going to get this property and you're going to own it free and clear. One of the other things I like about Alabama is the entry point. You can usually get in there for a very small dollar amount. Okay, so, again, the properties in there is a plethora, that's a lot, of properties that you can get in Alabama for really cheap. Okay, and I know that those of you that are watching this on either side of the coast, you're going, wait a second, I can get nice properties that are worth less than $100,000. Yeah, you can. It's amazing what you can get over there. So this is kind of a beginner's paradise, if you will. You go down there and you find these properties and you're like, wait a second. Matter of fact, is that Alabama? I have a student of mine that bought a lien in Alabama for $1,500 and some change. They didn't redeem, they foreclosed on it and ended up with a $54,000 property that they sold. And they did that in their retirement account. So there's all sorts of things out there that you can do to help boost it up. Now, the other thing you want to look at is, what are you going to be doing with this property? You want to make sure you have your how many? 3 exit strategies. If I get the property, am I going to sell the property? Am I going to rent the property out? Or am I going to wholesale it, sell it, fix it up and sell it, or wholesale it? Every single one of those is going to be an opportunity for you to make money, but you got to ask, where do you want to be at? If I'm going to keep the property and rent it, are you near Alabama? Is the rent worth it? How much revenue am I going to get from this? I had somebody that did literally like 50, 60 different properties in Alabama, and they made a ton of money doing this. Like, to the tune of $26,000, $27,000 a month. He just went all in on this. So this can be an investor's paradise. Here's the challenge though. You don't have as big an upside in the state of Alabama, so be careful with this. As you can see, there is a lot going on in Alabama that you want to be careful with. Here's the good news. For tuning in as long as you have, I've got a bonus for you. Okay, this is an A to Z course. It's brand new. It's free just for watching this. You go down to higginsmethod.com, click the link down there. I've got a full course for you on that. It'll show you everything you need to do on that and everything you need to. Oh, also I got a little bonus with a booklet that you can get. And this booklet will show you exactly, it's called the America's Best Kept Secrets. I just put this out and that'll be another gift for you. So click on that link down below. We'll see you at the top. God bless and good luck. See you.